Okay, hi there. This is a tutorial showing you how to make a cake board like this one to look like wood. Okay, so I'll just briefly go through the equipment that you'll need. This is a standard cake board. It's pink, but it's not going to be pink for long. You'll need some regular fondant icing. Now, don't go overboard and spend a fortune because you're not eating it. Don't be picking up Renshaw because that'll take a kilogram of that will probably cost you about £8. So that's one very expensive cake board indeed. But you'll need some fondant icing. This is just a supermarket brand. You'll need a smoother, a rolling pin, a pizza cutter, a ruler, and this is a scribing tool, but you can use a blunt knife, a paintbrush, some brown and black food gel, colouring gel with a cocktail stick, some icing sugar, and this is my CMC Tylose powder that I use. You may need a little touch of that, although it's not necessary actually, and some vodka. It looks like I'm a hardened drinker, but I'm not really. This is just used instead of water to make the paint colour from the gel. You can use water, but I wouldn't because it makes the fondant very wet and soft. Vodka, because of its alcohol content, will dry very quickly and it's tasteless, so that's why I use vodka. So this is the equipment you'll need. I'm going to set up now and show you how to make the cake board into a wood effect. I'll be right back. Okay, what I've done here, I've taken the icing out of the packaging, and when you get it out it's really hard, so we need to soften it up, and this is where you start to knead. Now you need a little bit of pressure here, so if you've made bread before you'll kind of understand what it means to knead. So you just need to soften it up by kneading it. This is quite therapeutic actually, because if you've had a bad day and someone's been getting on your nerves, you can kind of take it out on the fondant. So that's how I get rid of all my anger. But anyway, I'm kneading it now, and it's a lot softer. Once it's malleable, I think that's the word, you're ready basically to roll. So I'm going to get set up and show you how to roll a fondant. Okay, I've slightly iced the surface, not too much, don't overload, because you will actually dry out the fondant. Another thing is, I don't put icing sugar on the top, it's just on the surface. Okay, so we begin to roll. Now it's important that you keep this moving again, simply because it may stick. If it feels like it's sticking, which I'm alright, but I'll just add a little touch. Add as you go rather than putting absolutely loads on. It's quite firm. I know I've softened it up, but it is still quite firm, so you'll need to have a bit of pressure on that. It's a good little workout. Beats going to the gym. And we're just turning it and rolling. From the centre, I suppose, but making sure, I mean, I don't have a very large rolling pin, but it doesn't matter. If you've got one, brilliant, but I don't. So this takes a while. To turn it, or to lift it to turn at this point, You bring it over your rolling pin, hold it. If you need to ice the surface, do that. And then the opposite way, bring it down. There has been some tearing there, but you just push in, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So I'm quite happy with the length. So I now have to concentrate on the width. If you can just see. The length is almost there. Well, it is there, just the width. So I need to move it again. So again, using the rolling pin, flip, lift, ice, opposite way, and lay it down. So we're almost there. I know it's a bit boring watching me rolling the icing, but this is for beginners and I wanted to show everybody how it's done. Don't go too thin, otherwise you're going to have problems. It will tear big style. So I'm going to bring the board over just to see how far I'm out. And I'm there almost. That's it. Because I'll actually roll it once it's on the board as well. So what I'm going to do now is, using some water, I'm going to water the board and then place the fondant on the board. So I'm going to do that now and then show you the next step. Okay, I've flipped the fondant onto the board. It's still not 100%, so now I'm going to roll again whilst it's on the board, making sure that the board is covered totally. And once you're happy with that, what I tend to do is I use my smoother to get a smooth surface. Alright, it's not the end yet, but it's just to iron out any imperfections, and it's just a circular motion. Okay, and if you've ever made a pie, the same principle applies. So I'm going to use a pizza cutter to cut off some of the excess at this point. Okay, because I don't need that. And remove to the side, like so. And then lifting up as if it were a pie, and with a knife, I'm just going to trim the edge. Okay, don't worry if it's not perfect, because you'll be doing some extra rolling as well. So tap it over to the side, and just as if you're making a pie, with a sharp knife, run it along the edge like that. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but again, just trying to quicken it up for you. And the last edge, like so. Okay, now at this point there may be a little bit of fraying, as I call it, but you just smooth that over like that. Okay, and once you're happy, I think I am, just going to smooth out any rough edges with my smoother. And once you're happy, which I am, I suppose, we're ready to make the wood effect. So I'll prepare that now and show you how it's done. Okay, I've thrown away all of the excess and got ready for the next stage. Now, for this one you need a ruler. Any ruler will do, as long as it's as wide as the cake board. Alright, now you can use a blunt knife, but I'm using a scribing tool. And you set the ruler right at the very edge. I know this is an awkward angle for me, so forgive me, because you might think it looks straight to you, but it doesn't actually look straight from where I'm stood. And you just put a little bit of even pressure in the centre of the ruler, and using the scribing tool, press in and running it all the way along the edge. Okay, and lift. So we're beginning the planks. Is that the word, planks? Yes, planks. Following that edge, put the ruler again into the centre. Using the scribing tool, keep it close to the ruler's edge and run it across. Okay, and lift. Trying to be careful not to tamper with it. I'm at an awkward angle, you wouldn't believe. Okay, again, running it across to the edge. And you will repeat that process all the way along. Now I'll do one more for you and then I'll stop it and carry on off camera because it really is awkward the way I'm holding the thing just so I can show you. And as you can see, it's the beginning of the wood effect, and it's just the beginning. But as you can see, there's the planks. I hope that's showing up on camera. I'm going to continue, but I'll be right back. Okay, I've done that. Also, just to make it more lifelike, if it was like wooden floorboards, which is the effect I'm kind of going for, you would have intermittent boards. So what you then do is, using the ruler on the opposite side, is to go across. Now, holding the ruler down, as I say, I'm in a bit of an awkward angle, but you would roll across, and then maybe a bit further down on this side. So using the fondant, and maybe here, like so. So you can understand what I'm trying to achieve here. Again, maybe a little bit further down again, and then maybe up here, and I'll repeat that intermittent plank all the way across. Now I just do it randomly. I'm not doing it amazingly. I'm just doing it. Bearing in mind the cake's going to sit in the centre, so you're not going to see most of it. You're just wanting to give the effect. So I'll repeat that process all the way along, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I've repeated that process all the way through, and now I'm going to, within each plank, create a wood effect. So I'm going to actually turn the board so it's facing me ever so slightly. Yeah, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Using the scriber, I'm going to start creating a wood grain just on that plank. Okay, and you don't have to put anything in it really. It's just basically to give it a wood look. Now I hope this is showing up. If it's not, I am sorry. But I'm wanting to give you an insight on how it's done. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because when I paint this, the wood grain will show up. So again, just creating a wood grain, and then okay, and maybe a little bit more on the edges, and then every now and then I'm just going to put a hole, like edge planks, and that will show up as well. So again, wavy lines at first, there's no real, and then start the graining process. And I'm using each plank, and I will repeat that process all the way down. You can even do like an eye shape, so it really looks aged, and it will show up, I promise you. In fact, I'll show you. So I'll repeat this process and show you what it looks like when I've done the entire board. Okay, I've done all of the graining on the board, and now I'm ready to paint. This is edible paint. All I've done is I've mixed some brown gel with some vodka until I'm happy. And I've also got some black, but I'm going to start it off for you. This is how easy it is. You can add detail as you go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start painting. So it's back to school. Load your paintbrush, and as I say, it's mixed with vodka, so it will not make the fondant wet. It will actually evaporate. So here we go, we begin. So I'm just adding the paint, and as you can see, or start to see, the paint is absorbing into the lines that I've made, like so. Don't keep going over where you've painted, because you will drag the paint off if you can. So just try and stay clear, and you keep going with this. We're back onto the second plank now, painting, and as you can see, it's starting to look like wood, which is, or floorboards, or a desk. Now, I love this bit. Everyone has their own way of doing it, and this is mine. Sorry about that. Somebody came to the door. Trials and tribulations of doing this. So, as I say, keep on doing this. Painting. It will dry lighter. But you just keep on going over it till you're happy with the grain effect that you're creating. Now I'm just going to do this very quickly and then show you how to add some more detail. So as you can see, I'm just throwing the paint on, literally. Now you can add darker highlights by using a little bit of the black into the creases. So if I'm wanting to add a little bit more colour, I can add a bit darker where I'm wanting. So I'm wanting some darker there. And the great thing in the lines, the definition between the two. And if I'm not happy, I just go back into my diluted solution and brush it off, which is great. So if you're not happy, you can take it off. As I say, I added a bit of black and brown mixed together to add definition where the holes are that I've made as well. This is just showing you more detail really into it, and different shading on the wood, just how it would be in real life. And then with your dilute solution, if you're not happy with the look in the diluted brown solution, you can kind of rub it off, just leaving it where you're after the darker highlight. As I say, it's fun. I love it. I love this bit because it reminds me of when I was back at school painting. Again, if you're wanting some highlight, just where the creases are and where the planks join, just put a darker shade in those crevices. And to be honest with you, I'm sure you can do a better job than me. I'm just giving you an idea of how to do it. And as you can see, it's starting or beginning to take the shape of real wood. And you will basically continue this process all the way along, which is exactly what I'm going to do now, and then show you what it looks like when it's all finished. I'll be right back. Okay, I've painted it. It's still wet, but I'm going to use a little bit of black now to highlight some of the the delves. So there's some holes in there, so I'm just going to use the black to highlight where the holes are. Don't worry if it looks a bit odd right now, and where some of the lines are, and I'm just dabbing it in like this. Don't worry too much about that, but it's just to add a little bit of depth to the grain, to make it more lifelike, like so. And then going back into the brown stain that you've got, mix that through, and then going into the brown, you can rub off where you're not happy, like this. So you can still see where the wood grain is, but it's just highlighting the planks, okay, and highlighting some of the individual planks, and making them stand out more. It just adds some dimension to it without it looking too flat. So you're giving it depth by adding a little bit of black mixed in with the brown. Gives it depth and dimension. Now this will dry because of the vodka. It will probably take about 2 hours to dry, but that's basically it, how to create a wood effect for your cake board. And this one is actually a cake board that I'm preparing for a school leavers assembly. So you will actually get to see the finished article as well. So thanks for watching. I hope this has inspired you, and I hope you've realised that it's not actually that difficult. If I could do it, anyone can. So tune in soon for more tutorials. Thanks for your time. Bye.